Joining us right now, Lieutenant General Tom McInerney. You know, we never agree to preconditions on interviews here, Brian.
Nope.
But my understanding is that General McInerney made us swear that we wouldn't mention the woeful performance of his 2-10 Air Force Falcons this year on the gridiron.
No, we wouldn't do that.
We will not mention the terrible football season Air Force had this year. Lieutenant General McInerney, thanks for joining us.
It's the last time he comes on.
Well, thank you very much, Larry and Brian. Not only Air Force, but how about Army?
Army was worse. Oh, look at they have to point out and say, well,
we may have been bad, but
Army was worse. All right, listen, you know that this town is buzzing right now about Bob Gates, former Secretary of Defense's book, Revelations about. We don't know everything in the book because the book's not out, but we only know the excerpts that they put out there. And it's been incredibly damaging, especially some of the conversations he revealed with regard to the president, the vice president, and the Secretary of State's support of the Afghanistan policy. I want you to listen to the words of Charles Krauthammer, I know a man that you respect quite a bit, reflecting specifically on the Afghanistan revelations.
Here on the night of the president's speech, in which he announced the surge and then immediately announced the withdrawal, and then for the 4 years ever since, he never spoke to explain to the American people why the war, why the surge was important. He now has the lowest public approval of any war in modern history because it had no leadership. But I think this is a shocking revelation. I assumed that he didn't believe in this war from his own actions. But here it's from somebody sitting with the president 3 months in. And I do think this is an indictment of the president that rises above everything else he's done in his presidency.
General McInerney, knowing now what we've heard from Bob Gates from this book, does it put in perspective what's gone on in Afghanistan under this president's watch?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think that, and I haven't read the book either, so none of us have, so in the interest of full disclosure, Larry, but the fact is Gates has done the nation a great service, but he should have done it sooner. I mean, it shouldn't be any surprise, as Charles pointed out, that the President Obama does not believe in this strategy. And, I mean, how often has he talked about it, as Charles mentions the strategy? Now, the important thing is when you pick at this strategy, then you open a wound. And the fact is that Joe Biden got it right in this particular case because he recommended a counterterrorism strategy versus a COIN, a counterinsurgency, which means winning hearts and minds. Does anybody think that we're going to win hearts and minds in the Korengal Valley? They love our money. As soon as we leave, they crush the girls' school, throw a burqa on their head, and live like they have for 1,400 years. There will be no Jeffersonian democracies in the Middle East. And that's where I challenge Bob Gates should have immediately I believe, supported the president's intuition. The president has more experience and knowledge on Islam than any other American president. So his intuition, I believe, was correct. And we have had, and this book is going to open this wound, I think, a failed strategy in Afghanistan. Look, I supported the surge, based initially on McKiernan, General McKiernan, who Gates and the president fired, and then McChrystal, who Gates and Obama fired. So I supported that strategy initially, but it won't work in Afghanistan where it worked in Iraq. And the real fight is in Pakistan. The Pakistanis created the Taliban. They're funding them. And that's why I believe that Gates also made a mistake in supporting that strategy. When the president said, I'm going to put 30,000 troops in and then we're going to be out by 2014, all the Taliban have done have gone back and relaxed and said, all right, boys, let's wait till the end of 2014 and we'll move in.
All right, but let me ask you this question, Lieutenant General Tom McInerney, and it has to do with, having a full and frank discussion. If you're a member of the military, you assume that you're going to be able to have a conversation with the president that's full, frank, and direct about strategy and things like that. And Bob Gates went over there, and he made the arguments, and they hashed it all out. And then, when a decision is finally made, what do you do in the military? You don't try to sabotage it, and you simply what? Salute and execute, right?
Yes.
All right. So then is it fair, after you've had your say, decision was made, he's the President of the United States, is it fair then to come back and write a book that questions that whole process?
Yes.
And why?
And the reason it's fair is because he's not in the military. He's civilian
leadership, right?
He is the one that should be challenging a failed strategy.
Well, but it's very clear from what he had to say that there were real attacks in these meetings in the Situation Room or the briefing room that attacked both Bob Gates, Petraeus, and others.
Look, Donilon and others were just terrible in this particular thing. But I'd heard that 3-4 years ago. That word came to the general officer net. The fact is I think Gates is doing the nation a service, and it's important because we are not out of Afghanistan yet. Right. But I think everybody sees they're using the same template as they used in Iraq to walk away from it. And the bottom line is, with all the treasure and the lives, and look, our troops have performed magnificently, but our strategy has been wrong. We should have left a residual force in Iraq, and the fact is now we've got Fallujah and Ramadi, and that's no surprise to anybody, and Iraq's coming apart, and Afghanistan's going to come apart.
Yeah.
And so the value of this book is to alert people, what can we do to get a strategy so it doesn't come apart? And look, the Middle East is coming apart with this administration's policy. Look at Libya. We should never have gone into Libya. Gaddafi was on our side. Look at Egypt. Morsi is now going after the Muslim Brotherhood and the radical Islamists, and we've got Muslim Brotherhood in the U.S. government today. And so look at what's going on in Syria.
Who from the Muslim Brotherhood is in the U.S. government right now?
Who?
Yes.
Look, I haven't got their names exactly, but there's a list of them, at least 10 or 15 of them in the U.S. government. Homeland Security, a whole host of people. Secretary Clinton's chief of staff, who's married to Congressman Weiner. Her parents are Muslim Brotherhood, and her intuitions are in that direction. There are a whole host of people, Larry,
all right,
in this government, and I didn't come prepared to give you
names. Well, listen, because you threw it out there, I just wanted to, because I'd not heard that on the show offered, so I wanted to just follow up. All right,
Frank Gaffney or Claire Lopez, they all know the names.
All right, General McInerney, we've got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us, though, and lending your very specific expertise to this book from Secretary of Defense Bob Gates. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Larry, Brian.
You got.